if you do it on a fixed period, apart from Ramadan, you may not even know the month. Not everybody know, because we use lunar calculation in Islamic standard. You don't use January, February, March. So if you use it, you remove it January this year, if you are the one that you doing it individually and you do it January this year, it may not fall in January next year. But if you use an Islamic standard which is known to everybody, that is Ramadan, that is known to everybody. That is why people do pick Ramadan, so that at least at every Ramadan I will know a year has come at every Ramadan. So that is why mostly people do attach it to Ramadan. That's the second reason. Third reason why people attach it to Ramadan is because rewards of things are in multiple in Ramadan. When you do it outside Ramadan, if you take the reward of God, the reward for good work in Islam starts from 700 until uncountable. So now if God is going to give you 10 outside Ramadan, if it is within Ramadan, it can start from 100. It is going to be in multiple. So, and we are all working to get more reward. So that is why people will prefer to do it during Ramadan, so that their reward will be in multiple. Their reward will be in multiple. Look at Umrah. A lot of people do go for Umrah during Ramadan, because the Prophet Muhammad said, whoever done Umrah in Ramadan, it's like he has done Hajj with him. He has done Hajj during his own lifetime. And Hajj during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad, you cannot equate it with Hajj of any other time. Because the Hajj which the Prophet did, Allahu Akbar, is called Hijjatul Wada. That is the seal of Islam. It was in that Hajj Allah made proclamation concerning the completion of Islam and everything about Islam. The last proclamation. That was why Allah gave the last ordinance. Before Allah now brought the last surah of the Quran, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. You see, that was when people knew the time of the Prophet was near. 3 months thereafter, the Prophet left this world, because his work is complete. He had nothing to do again, even though he was 63 years then. But since Allah has brought that chapter, they knew something was going to happen. When that chapter came, they went to meet the Prophet. Said, this chapter that has come is like, it cannot be giving us about your memorial, Alpha. Well, you can expect anything. 3 months thereafter, Allah took him up. Allahu Akbar. Allah took him up. So you cannot compare that time with the Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam. When the Prophet said, Khairu jeli hadha wa ma yali, the best generation is my generation. Then those who follow them, then it cannot scatter all about. But the best generation are those who live with the Prophet. They experience everything we are experiencing today. They experience hardship, they experience joy, they experience sadness, they experience everything we experience, and they saw the Prophet physically. It's the day of our merriment. The Prophet said, it's the day of our merriment and enjoyment. It's the day of our merriment and enjoyment. All these things we have been doing is spiritually tough, both on our body and on our environment. So Allah now created a day for us to play, joke, but with limits, not within the boundaries of the laws of God. But then you can entertain yourself, do all sort of merriments, sing. No dancing for men. Women can dance. Men don't dance in Islam. You understand? But when women are dancing, they dance within themselves. You understand? So you merriment, you do all sort of things. Now, how do you prepare for it? You prepare for it. It starts by glorifying God. It starts. You see, everything is in Islam is founded. It must start with God in one way or the other. Once the moon of Shawwal is sighted, that's the first day of Fitri, the day of Fitri, the day of breaking fast. The month of Ramadan is called month of Ramadan. The month that follows it is called Shawwal. The first day of Shawwal is known as Yamul Fitr. The first day of Shawwal. Every first day of Shawwal is Eidul Fitri. Now, once the moon is sighted, what do we do? The first thing we do is to glorify God. What do we say? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Walillahil hamd. Allahu Akbar. The meaning is glory be to God, glory be to God, glory be to God. La ilaha illallah. There is no deity worthy of worship. That's the real meaning of Allah. La ilaha illallah. Ilahun in Arabic means deity, something people worship. It can be stone, it can be anything. It can be anything. That's why they said, La, no ilahun, no deity that is worthy of being worshipped. Illallah, except Allah. Except Allah. There is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. Walillahil hamd. All praises are due to Allah. So this is what you will do. You will glorify God. Allah himself was the one that demanded for it. Allah said, فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ. In Suratul A'la, Allah said, سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله. So من تذكر وذكر اسم ربه وذكر اسم ربه فصلى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. He glorified the names of his Lord and he prayed. What is the glorification there? That is the takbir we do when we cite. Then after the takbir, early in the morning, you go for prayers. After that, merriment starts. After that, merriment starts. We start visitation, enjoyment, exchange of gifts, playing all about. We can play all kinds of play which are not un-Islamic. Which are not un-Islamic. You play, you joke, make jest of yourself that are within limit, and all those things that are permitted by Islam. You do it on those days. On the day of Eidul Fitri. You don't fast on that day. It's haram completely. It's forbidden. It's sinful for anybody to fast on the day of Ileya or on the day of Eidul Fitri. It's a big sinner. Not only a sinner, it's a big sinner. There is no love, however big you love God. Allah said, I don't want it on that day. So for you to fast on that day, you are a criminal. You'll be sinful for you to fast on that day. So on that day, it has to be. I will tell you an incident. During the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad sallam, the Prophet was in his house. Aisha, his wife, with her colleague, female, they were playing the tambourine. Tambourine, that is the drum of their time, laced with 2 strings. They are playing in bang, 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 bang. Prophet is a person that is shy and always very secluded. He rolled his turban around his head not to hear that music, but they were playing. And Abu Bakr, his companion, the greatest companion, and the father of that Aisha, who was his in-law and the best friend of Prophet Muhammad sallam, whom Allah himself called his Sahaba companion, entered into his house and saw that incident, that they were playing tambourine, they were playing, and he saw the Prophet surrounded his head, which means he didn't want the disturbance of the music. He now stopped them. Don't you see that the Prophet was being disturbed? Don't you see that he rolled something across? Down. Today is our day of joy. It's our day of play. Leave them. Let them. They are playing. If I don't want to listen to it, that doesn't mean they cannot play. Let them do their own play. Let them play. Let them enjoy themselves. Today is a day of joy, day of merriment, day of whatever. Let them do their own. I am on my own. I'm on my own. Let them do their own. Allah Akbar. You understand? So that is it. And at a time, on another occasion, they were doing wrestling. They were doing wrestling in the mosque. The Prophet was there. He watched the wrestling along with this same wife of him. And when the wife could not see the wrestling, he picked him on his back so that he could see those men wrestling. And everybody, because those are those things they use the day for. They use it in playing sport. If it is ball, you can create a game for the day, can create running competition, any kind of competition within, because Islam also has its own rules concerning competition. There shouldn't be gambling. There shouldn't be gambling, and there shouldn't be abusive languages. It should be pure game within yourselves. So to determine who is most powerful, who is most strong, who is whatever, can do all kind of, you can play ball, you can play game, you can watch film if it is within the limit of Islam. Islam has limit for everything. Islam didn't say we should not live our life of comfort, life of joy, life of entertainment, but it has, everything has, because God is watchful. All those things that are merriment and whatever, those are the places Satan always stand. Always stand. If Satan cannot catch a believer to fornicate, to commit fraud, to commit those things, he will now stand at those places where Allah had given him allowances. He will now manipulate the allowance to such a way that you will not know you are going outside the boundary. So that is why Islam has to put bound, so that when you are going beyond this bound, you are getting out. Bring yourself back. That's why Islam has limit for everything. Have I answered your question?
Yes, now another aspect is that of the Sita Shower. Is
The
observing
6 days after,
after
yes.
Ramadan. Because Muslims are enjoined to also observe that particular fast. So I want you to dwell a bit on
Yes,
that.
Sita Shawwal, it gets its name from the months that follow Ramadan. Shawwal is the month that follow Ramadan. 6 days in Shawwal. The Prophet Muhammad said in one hadith, he said, who amongst you wants to have the reward of a year? To fast, to have the reward of fasting for a year. Then they wondered, how can we have the reward for fasting for a year? He said, whoever amongst you fast 6 days after Ramadan in the month, within the month of Shawwal, which is also like 20 or 29 or 30 days. If you are fortunate to fast 6 more days in Shawwal, then God will give you uh, a year, multiplying each day by 10. 30 days of Ramadan means 300 days. 10 days for each day, 300. 6 days of Shawwal, 60 days. 300 plus 60 makes 360, making a year. That is where we are telling us it is not English or Gregorian or their own calendar that give us the number of days in a year, or give us the number of what makes a year in Islam. Allah has told us through his prophet what is a year. You understand? He now said, by you fasting 30 days of Ramadan with 6 days of Shawwal, you will have been regarded as having fasted a year. So Allah will now give you the reward of having fasted a year for fasting 6 of Shawwal.